G'day, my name is Antonio, or Zenga, buongiorno as well, and today I'm going to be looking at your VODs versus Nathan in friendlies. So, I'm just going to have the VOD muted, just so we can hear ourselves. So, let me start off with a few things. This was a really cool VOD, like genuinely. I was very happy to see a lot of the new things that you were implementing. Even if I couldn't, strictly show you, right? There was really cool uses of having, the nades between you and the opponent. I really liked that. Your disadvantage was getting better. You actually, recovered high a few times, which is really good to see. And you also had a really nice crouch game. You were using crouch way more. You were whiff punishing with crouch into up tilt. I mean, it was really cool to see, because that's one of the biggest things you can learn with Snake. And just general sort of CQC was just overall a little bit better, as well as nade play. I mean, you were really developing your nade play in this. Some things we're going to look at is your Nikita usage. And also your, a lot of your recoveries, and just general nade play. So, one problem that was happening. So let's look at the good things first. So you start at neutral, you roll into him. I'm not sure, maybe that was a misinput or something, but regardless, neutral's still very even. You get a nice little nade explosion there, nice little nade trade here. You're holding nades more against sorties, which is really good. Grabs for sorties, it's not a threatening thing. So holding shield, with nade stance or with nade hold, often isn't too scary against them unless they're a fast sortie, right? Like Mithra or something. You make it tick chase, pull nade here, back here when it's useful. I really like this. Before you were kind of flinging out back airs kind of at 0% when it wouldn't get you anything. This gets you a really nice position, and I really am a big fan of that. So really good use of back airs throughout the set. By the way, you were you kind of scale you're scaling your options more. Smash. Unlike fighting games, right? Smash scales with percent, right? So you should be using different strategies as the percent goes, right? And different moves. In fighting games, I've been playing a lot of Strive lately. The same strategy, the only impact of a strategy is the risk reward and the fear associated with committing at low health, right? And that does change up a few strategies. But here, what really changes up strategies is, weight and obviously percent, right? So, the higher percent people are, you open up options like back air, but the lower percent you are, back air should not ever be used at a 0%, right? And that's good. You didn't use it once. I like that. Now, I see what you mean with the camping, and you're playing the matchup right. You shouldn't be approaching Shulk, right? There's a reason why Shulk loses this matchup, and it's because if Snake gets bored and goes in, then it's a fine matchup. But if you're camping him out and doing this, there's not a lot he can do, right? And what I'm seeing here is a lot of, I saw this and I realized, oh yeah, I'm definitely going to have to record this, because, right over here, so, you throw out a Nikita here, nade, roll in, now you've got nade between you and your opponent, and you start a cooked nade here, because you're cooking up nade while using this as a defend. Really good, really good. But this also goes into sort of a little bit of a flaw I saw. So you've kind of gathered that he's going to camp, right? In fact, you know he's going to camp because he's got a campy playstyle, right? You should try avoid anchoring nades with neutral nade like this. Because while this would be really good against an approaching opponent, if they're playing the corner like this, or they're scared to approach center stage, having the nade here doesn't do a whole lot except telling them to not approach. See, that nade right over there, this one controls a lot more space. He had to double jump, or he thought he had to double jump to avoid a hitbox, right? Again, really nice neutral nade here, and you even got your cook here, right? But then if you throw a neutral nade here, oh, actually, no, that went through. But if it landed on here, it wouldn't achieve much, right? Now that it's rolling towards him, he has to deal with it. I really like these nade tosses, by the way. Yeah, right here, it's not really achieving much. Mostly because, you know he's not going to approach. So you can just, roll it over to him a little bit. Now, obviously, this is kind of a flaw of just platforms, right? In general, the most consistent way to make sure that nades never get stuck on platforms is by doing like a slight little short hop. But otherwise, you can micro space yourself a little bit forward so that, you throw the nade a little bit forward. But regardless, this is a really nice zoning plan anyway. Another thing I would say is you had a really strong game start strategy, and kind of as this, wall of nades is approaching, I feel like it's kind of folding apart a little bit, you know what I mean? So, that's exploded, you've got nothing cooking here, you've just got a Nikita. So the Shulk should know the counterplay here, and it should be to just run up and grab you, basically. Because with Nikita, you can only cover one area at once, right? You can't, you can follow it, of course, right? But the more you curve it, the slower it becomes, right? So if you're gonna try and do Nikita, you have to hard call out that they're either gonna go, horizontally or above, right? And he should be calling that out with either just going above because he can, he should be able to at least, or just running at you here with a shield, right? And your answer to this ideally would be having a nade or having a C4 already planted here so that you can avoid that option, right? But right now you're kind of resourceless, you know what I mean? You haven't set up what I kind of like to call an engine, right? You're like, if we look here, right? So nades are both exploded. Now you've got nothing, right? You threw the cooked nade here. You threw a nade here. Now it's off stage, gonna explode, right? Which means it's probably you're not gonna have like another nade for around a second or so. And you throw out side B, the engine's over, right? You've got no like sort of you've got no loops, so to speak, of the nades going into each other to keep that zoning, right? But regardless, you're holding the corner very well, holding the advantage very well. You weren't, taking risks you didn't need to until this one. And remember what we talked about with dash attacks. So here, even if he didn't jump, you see like sweet spot, sour spot, right? Somewhere around here is like the sour spot window. So if he shielded, he would have punished you anyway. So remember that, if you're gonna dash attack to the corner, dash attack to the corner. You know what I mean? Like, don't start the dash attack until you get around here. This is when you start doing the dash attack, right? Because then you can make it more ambiguous between, holding shield, now he's jumped, right? Or going for a grab, or going for the dash attack to think if they think that you're going to play it more patiently, right? But, not losing things. Interesting Nikita there. I imagine that was an aid. I can't imagine that was like an intentional Nikita. Nice use of crouch. Alright, up tilt with, back air hit. He has to go to the corner. You down tilted him a very nice option, honestly. Like, this covers a lot, right? He can't whiff punish you from this range, and, if he tried to poke you, you would win it down. So that's a nice down tilt. I like that you're using down tilt more. Alright, he's jumping. You've got a nade out. Here, if I'm in this position, I roll inwards. And by in, I mean, to the stage, right? So in here, and then I pull out a nade, I do nade jump, neutral nade toss so it doesn't get hooked onto the platform, and then I start my nade loops, right? So this one will explode, and then I'll get another nade here after this one explodes, and the first one's already gone above, and so I can, do another nade. I could probably do nade drop, and then once the other ones explode, I do the Shogun setup, right? That's kind of what I would go for here. But what do you go for here? Right. So this is an aggressive roll-in, right? A very aggressive one. And I don't know if it was a misinput, but there's no harm in talking about why it's a what do you call it? A vulnerable strategy, right? So doing this roll-in puts you in an option to be whiff punished, puts you away from nade, and like we talked about before, right, in the previous VOD reset, ideally you want snake, nade, and then opponent, but now you're nade, yourself, opponent. So actually now now you're in disadvantage, right? Because now they can leverage the disadvantage of nade against you, right? Even if you've got the buff of having it be smaller against you. Regardless, he doesn't punish it. He jumps to center stage. You pull out a nade. and then you start controlling center stage. This is when hooking onto the platforms is nice, you know? When you're in this spot and you're just trying to maintain center stage presence, this is really good. Now, the way you can leverage that stage presence is by, you know, planting a C4 somewhere, right? But let's look at what happened here. So, side B, right? This shell could have absolutely punished you. He could have just run underneath here and just grabbed you. And, you know, Nikita's good to punish bad players, of course. But keep in mind that top level players, generally speaking, on the bell curve of skill, you know, top level players just love running in to punish, you know, opportunities that you give them, right? And, you know, Snake is all about negating those opportunities. So what I actually like is that you had a nade here to somewhat limit the opportunity, right? But still, the correct option on his behalf would have been to run in. And in general, oh, that was nice. Awesome. So you nade, rolled in. Nade drop here obviously didn't cover a lot, so I would do the jump. Or you could do a forward nade toss, that's fine. In areas where the platform is going to hook the nade, like I don't even think a jump would make it go past, you can just throw the nade here and, you know, roll it over here and force them to jump, right? Because then you set up another setup. And look, actually, look at this. You've got the engine going. I really like this, you know? You've got nade, Nikita, nade, you've got the engine running, and just keeping it going is you know, really good. Oh, dude, I actually loved seeing this, dude. You know, you've got the nade here between your opponents, throwing a nade. I mean, you know, and you even did a forward toss. You know, I'm going to gush about it forever, right? But, like, this is good nade play. You're setting up the engine, you keep the ball rolling, right? Snake thrives off of keeping the ball rolling, even if he's losing, you know? Like, you're down a percent, even if you're losing, you're winning here because you're setting up the neutral. They have to react to it at all times. They're going to either lose the shield war or get hit inevitably, right? What you can do is get really creative while you keep peltering with nades, and eventually their mental stack just gets overloaded and they will get hit by something, right? But to do that, you need to make sure that you've got a lot of tricks. And ideally, I'll be able to show you, you know, or we can lab those tricks out together. I've got an assignment due, so that's why, sorry, I've been a little late on that, but I will be getting my lithium battery replaced. Okay, nice. Nade approach, rolling in. Bit of a, I think that was a bit of a fair one, but, you know, it's okay. So nade, shield. I assume that was meant to be a Z nade. Alright, nade. Yep, Z nade. Throw, toss. Nade's anchored onto here. Nikita without the engine going is a little bit risky. But nade, toss, nade. That first nade was really nice. You throw out the Nikita, now you're in percentage. Nade here. I really like this arc here. I think you should have placed the stationary nade beforehand, but that's fine. You're not, you know, in any risk right now. I love that you held nade there. Do you get an up here? Nah, but, you know, it's a tricky... Nade up is actually kind of tricky, you know? Nice. You got the down tilt there. Using the back air at high percent. That's good, that's good. Grabbing the ledge. Red flag, red flag. Nice. Oh, that was good recognition there. Nice. That was good recognition to go for the up air there. But I will say, you know, as always, going to the ledge, very scary. One weakness that Shulk has in this matchup is that none of his aerials are really useful for beating out up air. Armor for Cypher, except for forward air. So his juggling is really limited against you. Ooh, rough. It was very close. Nice. Good high recovery. He's forced to grab you there. You're fine. Low recovery. You know what I mean? So you do a jump here. So if you're gonna use your jump like this, right? I think this is, you know, you're losing all your resources, right? Because if they, you know, hit you out of this, right? Let's say, you know, which they did, right? You've lost everything, right? You need to now, you know, stall a little bit more or whatever, right? And this could have been avoided if, you know, we just take this back all the way back here. If you just jumped here, upbeat here, went to the top blast room, used down air to stall, then you'd be like center stage, you know what I mean? And then you can set up the mix-up between fast fall, air dodge, or B reverse. But because, you know, we chose to stall here, it just kind of gave him the only opening he needed to get a forward air here, and then get a forward air here. Obviously, this is like, you know, this is a Shulk moment, right? Like, no one's gonna hit you here except for Shulk, right? But, the theory on the first forward air still holds true. Alright. Nice. Getting the engine going. You know, you're at advantage state. You know, no need to approach. I would like to see a little bit of C4. At least, you know, like, leverage the fact that he's giving you stage by controlling some of the platform with C4, right? But, you know, you're still playing this, like, pretty well. But, you know, I would say just a little bit more C4, you know, at least aggressively here, and, you know, just making sure that he can't approach center stage. That being said, it's not 100% necessary in this matchup, but that's just, you know, something that I think would be very good. Nice C nades. Nikita, nade. Yep, that covered pretty good spots. I like that, actually. He could roll in here and punish you that way, but, you know, that was a really nice spot to do it. And let's see how was this dash attack? So you yeah, so you didn't dash attack the client. So let's just go over to, I mean, let's just, you know, kind of remind ourselves of why, you know. So here he has 3 options, right? Well, he has more than 3 options, but his main options here, defensively speaking, are going to be jump, shield drop, dash, or jump, like, you know, in this sort of arc, right? To the corner, or like F tilt poke, right? Obviously, your dash attack is going to be the poke, right? So if you dash attacked around here, right? Then not only would it have meant that, you know, if he dashed back, you would have hit it. If he held shield, you would have crossed up. If he poked, you would have hit him. And, well, I mean, you would have hit here with a poke as well, right? But, you know, if this, you know, overcommitting a little bit more would cover both, you know, the poke, the dash back, the, you know, short hop jump dash back, and still allow you to react to this sort of jump here, right? Another thing you could do is if you overcommitted it, but you tried to play more reactively, you could punish him holding shield by doing grab, right? But yeah, and, you know, we're Snake Man, so we're gonna dash tag again. Nice, nade between you. Nade between you. Nice, I like the nade shield play, that's very cool. Yes, I love that. I love running up like that. That's really cool. Good. Nade pull. Back is 80%. Nice. Yep. I like that you went for the sticky there. That's the right thing to do. Whenever someone's on a platform, get them sticky. That's your best punish. And Nikita. Nice. Up B. To ledge. I mean, you're kind of forced there, so I don't blame you. A little bit hard drift in there. Usually I like to do kind of a neutral drift when I jump there, but that's, you know, depending on who you're versing, I guess. Kind of trying to hold center stage there. I like that you pulled out a C4. Right. Now, I saw that some of the tips he was giving you was using side B to shield poke. And that's a good, like, I mean, that's like a fine tip, right? Like, it's not a bad tip, I would say, right? The problem with that tip, I would say, is that the right answer to Nikita doesn't involve holding shield, right? Now, obviously, not everyone's going to get it right. And you can go for shield pokes on Nikita. That's completely fine, right? But, you know, I wouldn't completely rely on it, right? Especially because if we go on snake frame data, we see that, you know, Nikita is big, right? Like, it's very big, right? Which means that you're not, it's kind of tough to get a, you know, a shield poke, right? If you know how elliptical hitboxes work, elliptical literally just means perfect circle. You know, you would have to come at it from such a slow spot at such a specific angle to be able to hit the part of the shield that isn't being covered, you know, and it's not very realistic a lot of the time, right? You know, with the Wii card box, you can kind of micro adjust it like that, but still, you know, so, I mean, it's a good thing to think about, but, you know, just keep it in mind. Yep, just going for that now. Lovely grab punish. Nikita an advantage to. Yep. Alright, he does a double roll. You C4'd him. Yeah, punished him for the greed. Nice. Always keep a C4 somewhere in center plat because it just covers so much. Apollo Kage calls it insurance, and that's pretty much right. Well, not always center stage, but you know what I mean, right? Like, keep a C4 on the stage at least. Did you have jump? Ah, no you didn't. What happened? Nade. Oh, no you did. Wait, hang on. Okay, I don't know if it was taken somewhere here, but I think you had jump, so I think you could have done jump up B. You could have done up B here as well, down till, you know, etc., but you're really good at doing the stall, so, you know, fair enough. But, again, this just plays into the win condition, so I think recovering high would have been nicer. Alright, 7% on the board. Nade between each other, Shogun setup, a lot of pressure going out. Nade Nikita, you're covering this pretty well. I like that. And you know you've got this horizontal. Like, if you're going to do Nikita, do it like that. Nade anchoring, I still think, you know, he's camping, so you can kind of get away with throwing the nade at him, but, you know, that's fine. I think between some of these nades, you could be placing a C4, and I'm not seeing a lot of C4 play. You know, some of these Nikitas could just be C4, right? Or more nades. But I like, you know, you're keeping the engine going, which is good. Yep, Shogun setup. Establishing the board. He's just landing on all your nades. He could have punished you there, but he wasn't right on it. What a grab. Nice. High recovery. You're not going to get punished for it because, you know, high recovery. I want to see when you did that dash attack. Okay, no, that was good. Nice. I love seeing you do jab like that. That's super minus. You can punish that, but I'm really glad that you're using up smash and jab like that. That's really cool. Aggressive rolling. Yeah. I don't know if that was a misinput, but you know, it's a vulnerable strategy, like we talked about before. Ooh, he could have punished you here, maybe. No, you were at advantage. Okay, you're going for up tilt right now. That's good. Obviously, you know, up tilt scales really well. Like, you know, starts killing at like 90 or whatever. And it's pretty fresh, which is good. Let's see here. You had jump. You did the Nikita recovery. Then you back it. That was so vulnerable. You know what I mean? I mean, you just had jump, just high recovery there. But at least you made it back. Why not? Okay, I think we've gotten kind of the gist of this VOD. But yeah, no, I was very happy to see you implement some of the new stuff, and I'm very happy to see how the stock ended because I think it's one of the coolest stocks I've seen you do yet. And it really plays into Snake's strengths as being, you know, very, very hard to hit mobility wise. And if I remember correctly, it's a crouch. Maybe here? Oh, dude, look at that. Look at that. Snake crouch is broken. I mean, yeah, no, dude, Snake crouch is broken, right? Dude, that's crazy. That's a good play, dude. You know, like shield might not have worked there, you know? So that's a really good play, dude. I was really happy to see that. And again, look at this. Like, dude, if anything was gonna shield poke, surely this was gonna shield poke, right? But the way that, you know, shield poking works is unless the move is going really slow like it, you know, or it's, you know, a very methodical one, you know, the circle is getting bigger, 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 bigger. So it's hitting here. It's just not very realistic to shield poke with Nikita. It does really good shield pressure right here, but to shield poke with it, you know, a lot of requirements have to go through for that to work. So I would take that with just a grain of salt. Alright. So let's move on to the next VOD. Okay, so You just fucking scared him right there, so he just didn't want to move. Alright, C4 placement, nice. Nade, nice. You got the nade active here between you two. Nade here, Shogun setup. Obviously, you accidentally have tilted here. When you accidentally explode yourself with nade, and you're doing the Shogun setup, try avoid pulling another nade. Because what could happen, if you were slightly closer, is that nade blows up your nade, and now you've taken, like, literally, like, 20%, right? If not worse. But regardless, nice. Oh, that was a good throw. Oh, wait, hang on. Let's review that back. You threw that, then you jumped, and you threw that in anticipation for the jump. Oh, that was hot, dude. I actually like that a lot. Unfortunately, it was spacing on there. Nice. I like the idea of having the nade, holding that back nade there. He did play well by doing the back there, but that's a really good strategy what you're doing. Alright, getting grabbed, going high. Oh, bit of risky. But yeah, then just go into ledge. Just neutral get up there. You're fine. Don't, like, jumping kind of puts you in a detriment here, and he's got no strong punches against jump here. So you can just neutral get up. Nade, neutral between you two. Nikita again. You're just not going to shield poke. Nade, slowly approaching behind it. I love that. Nikita. Nice. Covering the jump with the throw. I really like that. Holding the corner well. Nice turbo teabag. Could just have thrown an up tilt first, but wait, hang on. Actually, what else could you have done? Oh, okay, another thing you could have done? Flash shield. So, sorties love landing aerials, right? Especially characters like Ike and Shulk. If they're at this position, just flash shield, right? Because if they don't land with an aerial, then you can still up tilt them, and if they do land with an aerial, you get a parry, right? So, was that the startup of up tilt, maybe? I think it was. You can kind of see in the recording, it's like the in-between frame. But yeah, in general, you want to be parrying here. Just because, like, there's no reason not to, and they're still in disadvantage if you don't get a parry. Yeah. I don't know what happened there. Risk it for the biscuit, low recovery. Alright, that's unfortunate. Okay. Yeah, dodge to ledge, good. Risky down B, but nice reward. Insane call out. Nade neutral, Nikita. Okay. So, just to keep in mind, I'm going to talk about Nikita in just a second. And I think you use it too much, but we'll talk about it. Alright. Should have been high recovery, I think. Whoa! That's rough. You love that, though. Ah. Rough. Okay. Dude, this sucks. I hate this. I've lost a set to this, dude. This sucks. I hate when C4 drops, man. Alright, nade toss, nade toss. Kind of got held a nade there. Go to the ledge. I mean, yeah, Cypher's there. Nice up tilt. I think in the interim of this, while you're waiting for the land, just throw like a nade or something. You know, get yourself prepared for the next interaction where if you miss the landing, you're still advantageous. I like that you're scaling back is lovely. I'm only seeing these backers at high percent, which is good. Low recovery, but nice patience. I've got no idea how you do that C4 shit. Sorry, not that nade shit so consistently. Risky option up here, but I'm glad that you did a recovery. Oh, I guess you were scared of what, like the forward air? Yeah, no. I mean that's a like, you know, an understandable fear. So yeah, okay. Remember, so shield flash. Like sorties, their whole game plan is landing aerials. So if you see them at the peak of their jump like this, just flash your shield, and you'll be able to get a parry off them. It's one of the big fundamentals of versing sorties, because, you know, they want to set up full hop aerials, they want to wall out, right? They want to just throw fling hitboxes at you, and your prime counterplay against that is parry. because they're typically more vulnerable out of parry as well. I got no idea how you do those Nikitas so consistently, but, you know, good stuff. Right over here, an example of where shield flash could have gotten you. So, if you shield flashed here, instead of going for the up tilt, you would have gotten the punish regardless of if they hit you or didn't, right? Obviously, they were in shield, but the point still stands. What the? Oh my god. Jesus, I can't believe that hit. Hell yeah, brother, we love walking up. Okay. Cool thing you can do. Instead of going for the up tilt here, because a lot of the time, when people are scared like this, they won't press a button, right? So a cool option you can do instead is... snake frame data. Where's jab? Here we go. Jab. -8. Very good. I believe Shell Club B is frame 10. Yep, frame 10. Okay, so using jab as a shield pressure tool is very good. You can do jab spot dodge against a lot of outer shields, and you'll be able to punish them with an up tilt. You can do jab into grab, which is a really common mix-up, or you can just do jab, shield, up tilt, right? Because he instantly upbeat, I believe. Yeah. So if you jab there, you'd be super safe. I like the mix you were going for. Knight c4. Yeah, again, okay, yeah. Look at this. So yeah. Nice shield flash there. You ripped the up tilt there a little early, I think. You know, it is only forward air, right? And I guess part of it could be working on just getting parries down, right? Yeah, so try let go the moment you see them over here. Because the idea is that, you know, by the time they land, the hitbox will always be out, right? You're always playing in the past in a sense, right? Because of reaction times. So if you react over here, technically speaking, you're actually reacting over here. So try let go over here. And then you would have absolutely gotten the kill. Nice up here. Ooh. Risky down here. Yeah, okay. Look for the shield parries there. Now I love seeing you play around the win con here. Just that was good. That was good. You know, instead of instantly grabbing, shield, wait, grab. You know, if you spot dodged, you bait it out. If you poked, you bait it out. And if you jumped, you're still in a fine situation. That was really good. And obviously, win condition. Nice down tilt. I like the use of C4 there. That was cool. Nade between you guys. I like the empty hop F tilt. Really nice. That's actually a really good adjustment you've made, is empty hop tilts. Nice patience. F smash. Could have gone high recovery, but you know, that's fine. Another thing you can do is, you remember when we were talking about abusing Mepha recovery? You can also abuse Shulk recovery here, because if he does this recovery, the hitbox will hit here, and then you can get it back here. But that's just a matchup specific thing. I like the nade hold there, shield here. So yep, again, let go around here, you'll get the parry. Getting the F tilt here, bit of a panic option, I imagine. Jab can be better there. That's what my coach would tell me. Regardless, setting up for a safe recovery here with the nade. That's good. Dash checking a little too often here, I think. Just trying to kind of catch him where he's not going to be. Especially because, you know, he's going high. But here you can just play grounded and with shield, right? And just fish for parries. Alright, nade, throw. Yep, Shogun sit up. Okay. Whoa! That's a crazy recovery angle, my brother. Nice whiff punish. Get her again. Nice, I like that overcommitment on the dash tag, actually. You saved yourself a lot of trouble. Close, getting the outfield there. Shogun sit up. Could have done jump recovery, but, you know, I mean, I guess he got hit as well, so it's fine. Oh, what happened there? I believe we call that an outplay in the biz. Alright, nice. Okay, so, big things I want to talk about. I looked at this set. Polykagin versus Aegis, and I looked at this set, Kronos versus Lucina. I kind of just tried to get a broad range of sorties. You'll see this in zoners as well. Snake does not use side B neutral, at least not as much as you like to do, right? And, you know, I see the value in it, right? And especially versus campy players, right? It can seem like a really good strategy. And it is to a certain extent, right? But kind of tallying it up, AK used Nikita like 2 to 3 times each game in this entire set, right? I looked at him versus Zomber as well, and he used it a max of twice in game 2, and for the other games, he either used it none or he used it once. Kronos, he actually never used it once in this set, I believe, unless I miscounted one. But the kind of the reason why is because, well, they're still using Nade, right? They're still using Nade so much. Sorry, Nikita. They love using Nikita, right? But the moments they use Nikita is strictly an advantage. And there's a few reasons why neutral Nikita is a little bit weak, and I'd like to go over them with you and just kind of bounce your idea off of it. My coach, I don't know if I can find him. Well, my coach, you know, my old coach at the time, he's a Malaysian guy. I forgot his name. Whatever. He's probably in my DM somewhere, but he told me that the reason why Nikita is, you know, typically weak is because it can only cover one spot at a time, right? And you know, we could see it. I mean, I'll just leave this to play, right? Because you do Nikita a lot, right? So try look at your Nikita usage and like see how many options Nikita covers. And I think when you really get to it, Nikita doesn't cover a lot, right? It's a relatively not small, you know, but like small in the grand scheme of zoning, right? And you're not actionable while Nikita's actionable. Unless you do like a wiggle missile, which actually isn't that bad. But you know, that's for a different time. But you know, like you're not actionable while Nikita is actionable. So in that way, it's not like a set play tool, right? Set play referring to like a tool that you both have to interact. Well, that you force your opponent to interact with, and you can play around, right? So like the easiest example is Villager's side B is a set play tool, right? But Isabel's side B is not a save play tool, because that's just a rod, right? And obviously Nikita's not rod, but Nikita forces a level of commitment, which means that it isn't really a neutral tool. You know, you're only covering high here. If you went low, you got punished, right? You're only covering high here. If you went low, you got punished, right? It's... Nikita has very specific niches in neutral when you've got the conditioning down. But when you're starting out, you're not gonna. Sorry, like when you're starting out, like against the opponent or the match, or you know, like you've only versed this guy once in your life. Nikita isn't gonna do a lot because the answers to Nikita are kind of straightforward. You know, it's be patient, don't get in, don't run in, and you'll be fine, right? You're not versing like, you know, quick play bots or anything, right? So Nikita, you know, hold up. Like right here, right? So it only covers low. If he goes high, like you don't... I mean, you're not losing anything, right? But you're also not gaining a lot, right? So what you could be doing in the interim of having Nikita out is, you know, you could be, you know, placing C4, right? Like placing center stage, exploding C4. You know, say if you really called out that they were gonna, you know, try approach here, you could be setting up a nade in advanced, or you could be throwing another nade. You know, you could be doing like a whole lot more stuff, I think, than what Nikita gives you. Even doing like up smashes in neutral give you a little bit more mileage than just doing Nikita, right? And so when is Nikita very useful? Well, it's very useful in advantage state, obviously, right? You can get literal checkmate, you know, edge guards, right? But in and lit trapping, of course, and it's also very good in some niche, not niche, like some disadvantage scenarios, right? Like you like really doing nade into Nikita to pressure the Nikita forward, right? But in terms of like neutral, it's very specific, right? So either you do Z nade Nikita as one mix up, or you do nade and then a jump back Nikita from very far away. You're kind of preying on the fact that you've forced them to react to so many layers of your game plan, and now you're introducing a whole other fuck ass move, right? But if you're basing your whole layer of neutral on Nikita, it's just a little bit strict, isn't it? So I mean, like let's think of it, the same way that what other move is committal? Um, I mean, I'm struggling because it's Snake, but let's think like Lucas up B or Ness up B, right? Hypothetically, you could play neutral like that, and obviously there's moves that are a little bit more limited, right? But you don't really add a layer of neutral there. That's kind of an option in neutral you can use if you'd like to, once the opponent has already gotten conditioned by your previous, strategy, right? So I mean, that it's kind of a discussion I want to set up with you, right? Because you really like using Nikita. I think you should use it a bit less. And in general, a lot of a lot of top players don't really like to use it in neutral. I think you're fine using it the amount you're doing in advantage day. In fact, it's probably better to do that. That was one of my biggest weaknesses. But I think in neutral, you kind of overvalue it a little bit. And this could be an isolated instance because, you're versing a very campy player. But even against campy players, you can still, set up a C4, kind of to the platform, win the war of attrition and slowly make it so the longer he's in the corner, the more risk he's taking by being in that corner, right? Instead of just constantly pelting off side Bs. But yeah, that's kind of my thought to it. If you'd like to kind of train that up, what you could do is just like nuts lock yourself to just not using side B during friendlies sometimes. That can work because, it's a nice way to force yourself to come up with new strategies. But yeah, that's what I have right now. These VODs were really cool to look at. And I hope you have a good day.